Fallout 4 is set nearly 250 years after the bombs have dropped, but yet the state of the Commonwealth is still in worse condition and in worse growth and redevelopment than both Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3, despite the fact that these games both come set before Fallout 4. Despite the size of Boston, there are only 3 major settlements within the city that can be somewhat supported by life. There has been no attempts in the last 250 years to rebuild, reduce, or retake key pieces of technology or infrastructure by the people of both Good Neighbor, Diamond City, or even Bunker Hill. The railroad. Dialogue options are boring, bland, and feel unexciting to go through. Convincing people to do things or bartering is no longer something you have to have a high enough level to do in speech. Instead, now you can just save scum until you get the small chance of passing the speech check, which eventually of course you will get. The Commonwealth lacks any feeling of real infrastructure or control of any areas by different local factions in the game. Each faction seems to just take whatever random building they want or area without actually planning any growth of that said area around them. Take example, different raider groups seem to be posted up just in random buildings, completely oblivious to their surroundings and what's happening around them. You would have thought some of these groups would have wanted to commercialize and move out a little bit more, but I guess not. Even though we have well over 4 factions in the game. Enemies such as the super mutants have no real reason to be in Fallout 4 outside of giving the players something to shoot at and giving the developers something easy to code in that they already knew how to make. The FEV virus, not to be confused with whatever I said that one video, was supposed to be a very rare virus, but yet somehow it's made it to the other side of America in the Commonwealth, where somehow the Institute got their hands on it and somehow stupendously let out a super mutant outbreak, which they then couldn't be asked to maintain or try and stop, even though it directly affected them, turning their scientists into literal super mutants. Speaking of, in the last however many years, the Institute made 0 attempts to go and get Virgil as far as I'm aware, even though they know he's escaped and they're supposed to deem him highly dangerous. There are probably more Raider established groups in the Commonwealth than there is actual survivor groups or factions, but yet none of the Raiders have thought to band together to be a major firepower or faction in the Commonwealth and therefore Boston. Nor have they thought about trying to take Diamond City or Good Neighbor, the 2 settlements in Boston that probably have the best and most amount of goods that they could take. The Gunners are single-handedly the biggest waste of a faction in Fallout 4. Looking cool, having cool lore, and also seeming like one of the strongest factions in the Commonwealth, the faction that literally helped to take down, stop, and destroy, or nearly destroy the Minutemen have almost nothing to do with Fallout 4's main quests, and therefore the game as a whole. No rivalry between the Minutemen or Gunners is optional, and no option to actually join the Gunners as a faction themselves. There's also no really cool or interesting quests designed around the Gunners. Instead, there's simply something for the player to shoot at, much like many of Fallout 4's factions. Despite that fact, the Gunners are clearly one of the most large factions in Fallout 4, and one of the most more established ones, as they even have bases in Nuka World and presumably in other places around Fallout universe. They were involved in 0 of the main game's story's battles, and overall kind of are a massive waste of potential. The railroad sucks. The Brotherhood of Steel, ironically being the best faction in Fallout 4, is very sad considering they have been in literally every other Fallout game. The quest that involves Paladin Danks being found out as a synth feels very strange and almost out of place, that Elder Maxon is convinced so easily just to let the very thing he's sworn to destroy and hates go, because you managed to convince him that he's a good guy and he won't come back and hurt you, and he won't destroy the Brotherhood of Steel. And it feels completely out of character for Elder Maxon to do so. The Brotherhood of Steel main quest, while easily the best out of the 4 factions, mainly just feels very samey to Fallout 3's, and the ending is flat out boring and embarrassing. Simply using a used asset from another Fallout game to take down the Institute is the epitome of lazy. Instead of using, I don't know, the massive fuck off Pridwin that was introduced into the game that they didn't do anything with. Oh wait, no, it gets shot down a couple times. My bad, I forgot.
Tried to lord it over the Commonwealth.
Time to go, man. We're relaying to a safe location.
Whoa. Now that's a hell of a thing. Rest easy, Glory. I need a drink.
Institute have single-handedly some of the most boring characters in Fallout history. Father is dumb and feels evil just for the sake of being evil. The Institute is made up of some of the most intelligent minds left, presumably on the planet, but yet can't work out that the intelligent life, self-thinking life that they have created is in fact self-thinking and aware. The Institute is underwhelming and they do little to try and talk their way out of conflicts despite being 100% sure that they want the best of humanity in their views. They also deem themselves as the good guys despite probably causing the most amount of carnage on the Commonwealth surface. The Institute wreaches havoc across the Commonwealth, killing people, causing a super mutant outbreak, and even sending sleeper agents to kill Commonwealth groups trying to make life better for themselves, and they don't or can't seem to be able to justify why they do most of these actions, given that they're under the fucking ground and that it shouldn't be affecting them anyway. The Institute's synth courses are some of the most underwhelming enemies to fight, but yet somehow are hyped up more than Michael Jordan at a basketball game, and are basically just over-glorified raiders with a lot more health and a cool gun, and sometimes turn invisible. The Institute can wipe out the railroad with little to no problem. In fact, they talk about it many times and even know the location of their top secret base, but yet chooses to let them continue to interfere with their operations for presumably no reason at all but plot. Also, the railroad sucks. The Minutemen are literally the generic good guys of Fallout 4, and no matter how much you try to make them stronger, they never quite feel on the same power scale compared to pretty much all the other factions in the game. You are the general of the faction and the leader, but yet no one takes you seriously, and you still have to keep doing everything for everyone, including helping settlements and defending settlements. A gameplay element that gets very boring very fast after about 1 hour. Speaking of, the Minutemen main quest missions completely suck and feel very boring. Having you do a bunch of settle quests mandatory to complete the main quest absolutely sucks and feels really lazy. Preston, though written incredibly well, is annoying and stupid as he hands an entire faction's responsibilities onto a guy who knows nothing about Commonwealth or Wasteland life, and also nothing about the Minutemen faction. Preston reluctantly will continue to take orders from you and follow you even if you literally decide to kill everyone or join the Nuka World Raiders. The Minutemen endings both feel mid, with the one where you shoot down the Brotherhood of Steel feeling completely and particularly lazy as there's no build up to this, you literally just turn on the Brotherhood and then shoot them with a big cannon and then they die. It also makes the Brotherhood of Steel's power feel extremely weak. You can't order your faction to do anything despite you being the leader, such as build defenses, look after settlements themselves, or defend settlements themselves really. Instead, you must do all the fucking work for these people, and they show little to no thanks for you literally doing everything for them. You're literally the leader of a faction, but yet you still do 100% of the work and get no thanks. What a fucking joke. Also, the railroad fucking sucks. The railroad is a stupid faction made for 12-year-old children. Their main idea is to save synths. They do this by literally blowing up the one place that can create them and sustain them. The railroad care more about synths than they do actual human lives, and they will look past blatant problems with their ideologies like synths turning into raiders or turning into mass murderers, because obviously that contradicts their hero story. The railroad have a red fucking line leading you straight to their base, and they're supposed to be a secret outside society, but yeah, at the same time they're fucking openly advertising and hiring people. How are they hiring people? I have no fucking idea, because when you somehow get into their base and they're so shocked that you managed to find a red line and follow it, they're like, no one's ever done this before. So how do they even have any faction members? I have no idea. To top this all off, the fucking code into their base is railroad. You can't make this shit up, man. The railroad's main quest is filled with so many plot holes it's ridiculous. The best one being where the railroad take down the Brotherhood of Steel. Somehow Tinker Tom just knows how to fly a Brotherhood vertibird. Okay, cool. And also, he just knows how to get past Brotherhood security checks. It's also laughable how light the Brotherhood security checks are. But I know how he got past them. It's called plot armor. Speaking of, the railroad are some of the most bloodthirsty people in Fallout 4. Even though they consider themselves the selfless heroes who save synths and look past literal human trafficking, the railroad kill probably the most amount of people. Children on the Pridwin, blow up the Institute, making synths distinct. They're pretty much out for blood throughout the whole game. Even when they complete their end mission of saving synths by blowing up the Institute, because that makes sense, they lie so hard to one of their informant synths that he literally fucking kills himself, and then Desdemona lies to all of the railroad agents and says he died selflessly. Desdemona is a bitch who cannot be bargained with, is bloodthirsty, and thanks you for none of your help. Dr. Carrington is supposed to be the second in command, but does pretty much nothing and is given no real time to shine, even though he seems like an actually interesting character. He's also the only one in the railroad with a brain and questions the fact that you're allowed to join. You can literally tell the railroad to go fuck themselves and that you want to kill all synths, and Deacon, my boy, will still be there like, nah, don't worry dog, we'll get you into the railroad, just trust me. You can go against every single ideology that the railroad has and Deacon will still try and get you in. Fuck the railroad, and I cannot believe they made it into Fallout 4. Terrible faction. Most factions' locations geometrically have a lot of problems in choice and why they're actually where they are from a strategical point of view. The Children of Adam have 0 quests in the base game of Fallout 4. Fallout 4 launched with one of the most glitchy statuses I have seen in a game launch, with my game soft locking at a 20-hour mark, causing me to lose pretty much a whole game's worth of stuff. The game also still to this day constantly crashes and is riddled with so many bugs. Most human enemies feel way too bullet spongy. All of Fallout 4's main endings feel underwhelming. Fallout 4 lacks several major battles, and when it does have them, they are often boring and very underwhelming, such as many of the ending battles involving taking down the Institute and certainly the Battle of Bunker Hill. Side quests in Fallout 4 feel less fleshed out than other Fallout, and there are 0 real minor factions in the game, like there was in New Vegas. Side quests often revolve around the player fetching something for someone, and when they are not doing a fetch quests, side quests feel very unfleshed out and boring. Fallout 4 gives us some of the most interesting companions that we have seen in a Bethesda game, but hardly any of them have their own companion quests. After 250 years, the Vault guy continues to wear the same outfit that he did 250 years ago. Billy's parents for the last 250 years have lived in the same place, somehow, had no issues with the Gunners, which stand a walking distance from their home after 250 years. Virgil hides himself in the glowing sea, as its radiation makes a good shield from humans trying to find him. Only, it's not humans trying to find him, it's robotic synths. Many quests have the exact same outcomes, even if you choose to do them with different factions, such as the battle for mass fusion. Gunplay can often feel clanky. 250 years after the bombs dropped, and for some reason ghouls are still seen as freaks to people. Codsworth has not been destroyed or left Sanctuary in the last 250 years to go live somewhere else. Fallout 4 only got 2 real story DLCs, one of which is okay and the other is actually somehow better than the base game for some reason. NPCs feel stiff and don't feel like they live real lives like they did in past games. Many quests feel like they should just have happened without you, such as Billy should have been found by now by someone, the Chinese submarine should have sunk, or the captain should have went out to get some help, or actually fixed his ship himself. And by now the robots at the ships should have got some supplies by now. Vertibirds are glorified fast travel. Fallout 4's ending variation cutscenes feels like a huge cop-out, as there's only 2. How does Virgil go back to the Commonwealth once he has been turned back into a regular human, considering the glowing sea should completely vaporize him? Thank you guys ever so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please feel free to like and subscribe. This was a bit of a different one this time. I tried to just go straight in, and I wanted to create a video where I just go through everything I find wrong with Fallout 4. I'm sure I missed some things, so let me know what I missed down in the comments below, and also let me know what you thought I was too harsh on, because I'm sure a lot of you disagree with the video, so let me know in the comments down below. Sorry if this seems like a filler video. It has been for bigger projects coming up, but the month of May will be one for many great projects. So thank you guys ever so much for watching. Terribly sorry for the delays, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.